So guys, there have been 3 managerial sackings. Arsenal haven't found a replacement for Unai Emery just yet, and on Friday night, Watford replaced Quique Sanchez-Flores with Nigel Pearson, who didn't take charge of Watford's game against Crystal Palace, although he will be in charge for their next game. And Everton haven't found a replacement for Marco Silva just yet. They are looking at some, but for now they placed Duncan Ferguson in charge. For this video guys, it's all about week 17 predictions. So without further ado guys, here are my predictions for week 17 of the Premier League this season. So here we go! Chelsea v Bournemouth. Since the international break, Chelsea have been on a bad run of 3 defeats in 4. Now that has to be worrying for a Chelsea's point of view, especially performance-wise, like against Everton and West Ham, which were both utterly shambolic. Although they might be entering a stage where they will start wobbling, but I think they'll sort it out soon. Bournemouth are stuck in a rut as well, 5 defeats in their last 5. In fact, they've only won 1 game in their last 10. And only 7 goals scored in that time. Now, I don't know where the wins or the goals are going to come from, but certainly not in this game. I think Chelsea will bounce back from their defeat last week and pile more misery on Bournemouth. I think I'll say 2-0 Chelsea. Leicester v Norwich. Okay, let's date back to the season where Leicester won the league, and it was an absolutely unbelievable season which defied all the odds. Well, this Leicester team today might just be better than the title-winning Leicester team. People are talking about Leicester challenging for the title, but to be honest, I really can't see that happening because Liverpool are taking the title race by a mile. But if Leicester finish second, it will still be a fantastic achievement for them. Plus, Champions League football. Against a struggling Norwich team, well, I really can't see Leicester having any trouble at all. I also don't think Norwich will be able to stop Jamie Vardy, who's in terrific form. Which is why I think Leicester will record a 9th consecutive league win in a row. 3-0 Leicester. Burnley v Newcastle. I recall most Newcastle fans thinking that Steve Bruce is a terrible appointment. Well, today, he's working wonders because Newcastle have won 4 games from their last 6. Okay, their forwards still aren't scoring for them, but I guess they're happy for their defenders and John Joe Shelby to do the scoring for them. But one day, the forwards will start scoring. Newcastle are doing okay this season under Steve Bruce, so come the end of the season, I think Newcastle will be alright. I'm worried about Burnley. Their form since the international break has not been good. Like in their last 3 games, they've conceded 11 goals. And for a Sean Dyche team, you just don't see that. But I think Burnley will stop the rot and will at least pick up a point from this game. A point will be good enough for Newcastle as well. 1-1. Manchester United v Everton. Something about United this season which I hadn't noticed until now is that they have a good record against the other big teams. Take Chelsea, Man City, Spurs and Liverpool for example. But against the other teams, meh. But beating Spurs and Man City with magnificent performances, I think United might have just turned a corner now. All they need is more of the same against the lower teams. Everton might have turned a corner as well with a performance of their own against Chelsea after the sacking of Marco Silva, which was, as expected, no surprise. So this game is going to be very interesting to see what happens next. Mind you, Old Trafford is not a good place for Everton. Only 2 wins there since 1992. But if Everton were to win, I think they can push on and climb higher up the table. But knowing that Man United are difficult to beat when they play at Old Trafford, I think Man United will win 2-1. Liverpool v Watford. Things never worked out well for Quique Sanchez-Flores and it never looked like getting any better. 1 win and 7 goals in 10 games for Quique Sanchez-Flores. Now it's 1 goal in 4 games since the international break. So something has to change quickly at Watford. Now my question is, can Nigel Pearson fire them up? Well, there is a chance. After all, he pulled off that greatest escape for Leicester in 2015, you know. But I don't think he's going to get off to a good start here. Watford's last 3 visits to Anfield have been terrible. 16 goals conceded, 6-1, 5-0 and another 5-0. Plus, Liverpool are unstoppable, so there's no way that Watford are going to keep them out. But you never know. So this game, for me, Liverpool will win again and Watford will lose again. 4-0 Liverpool. Sheffield United v Aston Villa. Sheffield United managed to win their last game against Norwich, which was their first win in 5 games. What I just realised is that they create opportunities but they can't put them away, and that has been costing them recently. just like it did against Man United, Spurs and Wolves. As for Aston Villa, they have been playing well against Newcastle, Man United and Chelsea, but they got totally ripped to shreds by Leicester in their last game. I think their leaky defence is costing them at the moment. They are now level on points with 18th place Southampton. So Aston Villa got to do something pretty quickly. But I think Sheffield United will exploit Aston Villa and get a comfortable win. 3-0. Wolves v Tottenham. Spurs have vastly improved since Jose Mourinho was appointed. The team were looking low in confidence under Mauricio Pochettino, but now Mourinho's getting the best out of them, especially Dele Alli. Where has he been? Wolves are doing well this season, 6th in the table and only 2 defeats all season. What makes this more interesting is that Wolves are 6th, Spurs are 7th, and only 1 point separating the two. Both of them 5 and 6 points off the top 4 respectively. So I think Spurs will win 3-2. Crystal Palace v Brighton. Both teams, who are rivals to each other, are doing well this season. It's going to be interesting because if Brighton win, they will move level on points with Crystal Palace. In fact, above Palace, on goal difference. But if Palace win, they can move up to 5th. If results go their way, of course. But when it comes to Selhurst Park, Palace often have trouble trying to find the net, and they are one of the Premier League's lowest goal scorers this season. As for Brighton, they don't have a good record playing away from home, but they did manage to win their last away game, which was against Arsenal. However, I think both teams will shut each other out, so I think this game will end in a 0-0 draw. Southampton v West Ham. I mean, you can beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, of course you can. But you cannot beat Arsenal at home. It's a very strange game, isn't it? Even though West Ham weren't at their best last night, they were leading 1-0 at half-time, you know. Against a lacklustre Arsenal side, they seemed comfortable. But in the space of 9 minutes, they completely capitulated. And that only sinks West Ham deeper into trouble. They are now 16th and 1 point above the relegation zone. As for Southampton, they also blown it themselves. They were leading 1-0, but they lost to a late winner to Newcastle, which keeps them in the relegation zone. And that makes this a very interesting game because both sides desperately need the win, which I don't think either of them will get, so I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Arsenal v Manchester City. Arsenal's first win since October lifts them back into the top half of the table. It didn't look convincing last night because neither team were at their best, but that one substitute, Martinelli, changed the whole game, and boy did Arsenal need that. I think they should start Martinelli from now on, don't you? In this game, Arsenal will fancy their chances because Man City were atrocious in the Manchester derby, which ultimately, for me, ends their title challenge. 4 defeats already this season, even against Norwich and Wolves. If they can do it, why not Arsenal? Although I do think Man City will bounce back, because right after games where they drop points, they do bounce back. So I'm going for a 2-1 Man City win. So there you have it, guys. Those are my predictions for week 17 of the Premier League this season. Hopefully I get some right. Although in my last video, which was about 2 weeks ago, 2 games like Wolves, Sheffield United, Norwich and Arsenal, I got exactly right. For the rest of them, I wasn't so lucky. Come to think of it, I have not got a lot right this season. I don't know why I'm doing so terribly, but better keep trying, I suppose. So far this season, guys, with my predictions, I had no luck. So hopefully for the rest of the season, I get some more right. And plus, guys, that is actually it for this video. So if you like my videos, please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And please turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. Please leave a like and a comment down below. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.